Hi, everybody. I searched and searched, and I did not find any videos for this, so I figured I would make a quick one after kind of borrowing a couple techniques and putting them together. The sky replacement tool in Photoshop 2021 is pretty great, to say the least. It saves a lot of time for everyone. But what I have found difficult is that we end up with, on Photosphere specifically, we can't always really use that sky replacement tool unless we do a couple more modifications. Or after the sky replacement, we will kind of take care of the seam. First off, we're going to go with the trusty sky replacement tool. I'll let that kind of do its thing. We'll use the default sky here, and usually I back this off a little bit in terms of the actual opacity, and make it look a little more realistic and not wash out too much. So I'm gonna merge this all into one. Okay, so here's my image, but the problem that we have, I'm gonna just save this as, well, I'm gonna flatten it first. Save as. And you'll see when I go ahead and import that as a panorama, that was 5. What happens is everything looks great except for when I go to look behind us, we get this seam here. And that's not too bad right now, but we'd like to correct that, especially this the knot of the balloon here, basically at the top. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to switch back to Essentials Workspace, is I'm going to go Filter, Distort, Polar Coordinates, and then I'm going to go rectangular to polar. And what that's going to do is it's going to basically take everything that's at the top and kind of swirl it around there. So we're looking at the image in a different way completely. And so then I can use my stamp tool to blend that as much as possible. I usually kind of choose a little bit from the left and a little bit from the right, especially with this kind of default sky here. It kind of works out well. And then that swirl, I'll just kind of choose an area here and just kind of add that. So really that's it. The only other thing you kind of have to worry about sometimes is you'll get a seam sometimes that will continue on the trees here. But it looks like in this case it didn't really do that. So, but in some cases you may have to just add a little more extra tree there's a seam that kind of runs through there a little bit. Okay, so now we just have to basically go back to the way it was, which is Filter, Distort, Polar Coordinates, Polar to Rectangular, and hit OK. And now we're back to where we were at the beginning. Now I'm going to go one more step. This is a tool, basically. This is stolen from Rich Baum from Shooting Spaces. So I've got to get credit there. But basically, after that, we can flip the top layer. I'll actually go Control-J and make a layer, edit, transform, flip vertical. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. Filter, distort, polar coordinates, and I go rectangular to polar. And in this case, now I can kind of patch this nadir here. And I don't know how to say that. I've never known how to say that. Looks like for the most part, this is going to be a pretty difficult one. So I'm going to probably end up putting my logo or a patch here. That's about as good as I'm going to make that. And then basically all I've got to do again is kind of do it in reverse. We should be good to go. I'll flatten this. I'll save it. Now when I import that as 3D, we should see something that looks a lot more our speed. So I turn around here, that line is completely gone, and it looks like more of a natural sky. So I hope that helped. Apologize for the nadir faux pas there, but even there, we're looking good. We're looking okay. So have a good one. Thank you much.